the Asus ROG Ally, potentially a Steam Deck killer, is coming sooner than you'd expect, according to Asus. And we're going to talk about it and see what they've got to say and take a look at the specs, because we now know the specs of this bad boy. So, if you don't know, Asus did announce a competitor to the Steam Deck called the ROG Ally. They announced it around April 1st, and people thought, or mistook it for an April Fool's joke. And they sort of did play off that. They were like, okay, yes, it's April Fool's. We're going to launch a new Steam Deck killer, blah, 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 the ROG Ally. And then after, everyone was like, oh. And then they were like, no, we're actually serious. We are launching it. So, ROG Ally, let's take a look. Let's see what it's got to offer, because I'm excited. I'm so excited. They're saying it's going to have 2 times the performance of the Steam Deck. Not just CPU benchmarks, but potentially almost twice the frame rate. Now, they're saying at 15 watts, which is the wattage that the Steam Deck runs at right now, 15 watts, it's going to give you 50% more performance than the Steam Deck at the same wattage. That's big in itself. And then at 33 watts, which is significantly higher, and with that less battery life, it'll give you 100% extra performance than the Steam Deck. 200% overall, right? Twice the Steam Deck's performance. So if you get, hopefully that translates to frame rate, right? So let's say we get 40 FPS, 45 FPS in Elden Ring on the Steam Deck right now. Hopefully on the ROG Ally, we're looking at like 80 FPS plus. Now that's a dream scenario. I would love it if that was the case, but we're gonna have to wait and see for sure. But let's get into it and let's talk about what the specs are saying, what they're telling us, and what I think of it, because I've not covered it yet. I've been meaning to make a video on it for 2 weeks. Let's go. I'm BlazeDK. If you love Steam Deck, handheld content, all that good stuff, please like, subscribe, click the bell icon down below. We post multiple times a day, or at least I try to. And yeah, let me know in the comments, because you guys are an amazing community. We've built up a community with the Steam Deck, loving this little handheld for months now, for over a year. And you guys are just the best community out there. And please join us by clicking subscribe and the bell icon. And if you want to support, click join down below. Anyways, let's get into it. I'm BlazeDK. Now, hopefully you've clicked the like button already. More importantly, and also check out our Amazon list of favorite Steam Deck accessories. I'll put a link in the top comment of this video and the video description. There's a bunch of great, amazing Steam Deck accessories there. I'm always adding stuff to it, so bookmark it, click the follow button, save it, share with friends, because you'll always find something cool added on there, because I'm always finding cool stuff with the Steam Deck. I'm always adding on it, and a lot of this stuff could technically work for the ROG Ally as well, so it might come in useful. Anyhow, onto the news. So we finally got the ROG Ally's specifications. Can it beat the Steam Deck? This article comes from Giz China. Let's scroll down here. Let's take a look at the specs. So it's going to have an AMD Ryzen Z1 series CPU. It's going to have a full 1080p. Get this, 120 hertz freaking display, twice the Steam Deck, and an amazing 500 nits brightness. Now, it's not going to be OLED, I don't think. It is going to be a bright display. Now, hopefully, it's a very good IPS display. From what we've seen on YouTube already, it's looking like it's going to have a pretty nice display as far as color accuracy is concerned. The display latency isn't going to be the best. It's going to be around 7 ms, which is in line with a lot of gaming laptop monitors, which, to be honest, at that, you're not really going to notice it that much. 16 gigabyte LPDDR5, so in that respect, we're getting the same as the Steam Deck. Hopefully, you know, hopefully, it would be nice if we could upgrade that, but I really don't see that happening. Storage, it's going to use an M2 2230, the same as the Steam Deck, so it's going to use that little small SSD that we're used to with the Steam Deck, which is fine. You know, if anything, this will boost the popularity of that. And as you know, you can get a 2 terabyte NVMe M2 2230 from AliExpress now for about 140 bucks, which I've covered on previous videos. It's what I put in my Steam Deck for 140 bucks. Now, when I bought mine, it was 270. Now it's 140 from the same seller on AliExpress, and people are buying them up because they're so popular. It's actually cheaper now to upgrade your SSD than it is to buy a micro SD, which, as you know, runs notoriously slower. And it's going to weigh in around 608 grams, which is not too bad, not too bad. Now, let's take a look at this article from PC Gamer, because they're going to be talking about this. Asus says its Steam Deck rival may be coming sooner than you expect. Now, we know it's going to be coming out this year, but when this year? Next month? right around the holiday season. We are getting into summer, so hopefully it's going to be coming a lot sooner. And honestly, I can't afford another gaming handheld. But if you want me to review it, then please click the subscribe button and click the join button down below and become a member and help me get this thing in my hands day one so we can cover it every 10 ways to Sunday or whatever the saying is. So promises of an imminent launch appear alongside new rumors for the 4nm Zen 4 RDNA 3.0 APU at its heart. Cool. Asus, the big tease, has been hinting all over about the upcoming ROG Ally, the company's own Steam Deck rival. While there's no official release date as yet, Asus has taken to Twitter to let us know it may be sooner than you expect. Alongside this little stir, rumors are now coming thick and fast about a leak that potentially nails which GPU this powerful little handheld gaming device's custom SoC is going to use or be built around. As we previously reported, the now totally real ROG Ally looks like a serious contender to the Steam Deck, with the rumor mill placing the processor as a custom AMD SoC built on TSMC's 4nm process node. That's according to reports from Dave2D, which also talks about housing a Zen 4 CPU and an RDNA 3 GPU behind that 1080p screen. By way of comparison, the deck's Aerith APU supports Zen 2 and RDNA 2 hardware. This is using Zen 4 CPU and RDNA 3 GPU. This is a jump, guys. This is a jump. This is the Steam Deck 2 that we've been wanting and craving. But it's probably not going to have a Steam Deck price, and we're going to cover that in a second. So yeah, it's going to have 120 Hz refresh rate, which is going to be a pretty nice jump. If you're a gamer and you value high frame rates, which I do, this is going to be a big deal. 7-inch panel, so pretty good. Some serious handheld power is going to be needed, however it turns out. With video cards fronting a shipping manifest leak, we're now of the impression that the ROG Ally will be coming with a semi-custom variant of the AMD Ryzen 9 7840U APU, which sports a Radeon 780M GPU. That's around the same APU found in the GPD-1 Max and in the AOK Zio A1 Pro, though it's likely to have been slightly altered. So importantly, Radeon 780M supports DirectX 12 Ultimate, which should help with the Windows gaming experience, since Asus already confirmed its choice of OS. So Asus is going to be going with Windows, which is fine. Obviously, it would be nice to have a little front-end software, but there's some news in that front. There is going to be a front-end Windows gaming handheld experience potentially coming soon, a Windows gaming modem. I'm going to be covering that in a new video, so stay tuned. Click the bell icon to stay tuned to that, because we're going to be talking about that very soon, either today or tomorrow. So stay tuned for that, but that's exciting. So this could work out really nicely for the Asus ROG Ally. Asus has a history of packing a low TDP Ryzen HS series processors into mobile machines, and since its ROG Ally is going to need some special treatment in that department as a gaming handheld, we're likely going to see TDP improvements over the standard processor. Otherwise, there's no word on the company's plans for the custom SoC. ROG Ally shipping manifest also clearly shows the Asus model number RC71L and RC71X, which are easy enough to find on the Asus website, as well as the FCC listings. These L and X codes hint at the possibility of at least 2 ROG Ally models, so we're going to maybe get 2. I wonder, most likely they're going to be a difference in storage, I would say. Storage and color, if anything. All right, I don't think we're going to see much difference. And it's not going to be like the iNeo 2, where we're going to see different levels of RAM, 32 gigs, 16 gigs, different displays, different form factors. It's mainly, if I had to guess, it's going to be either color or storage. But both are going to support NVMe SSD upgrades, so that's kind of irrelevant. You can buy the lowest model and then upgrade later. Get that 2 terabyte SSD I told you about. So the ROG Ally is set to release worldwide. Where is it? Worldwide, and it may be sooner than you expect. If you're in North America, you can sign up for notifications right here. So they're partnering with Best Buy to be notified of, so you can be notified when it's going live. I've already signed up for this. I'm going to put a link to this in the video description, so make sure you get signed up for it too, so you're not missing out on anything. Now, as for the design of this thing, guys, I'm going to give you my opinion on it, because like I said, I've been meaning to cover it for a while, and I've not really covered it. And let's watch the trailer for it now and reminisce about when the trailer got released. So, first impressions. It's got very jagged corners, doesn't it? Now, Linus Tech Tips talked about this in his video. He says, when you're holding it, it doesn't feel the most comfortable in your hand. Now, that's different from the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is overly ergonomic. It's very large, but it's comfortable enough to play for hours at a time. Now, that aside, It doesn't look too bad, does it? Now, I wish they'd actually... It looks like they're going by a 16:9 aspect ratio, which is all right. Not all games support 16:10, so that's, you know, that's okay. But it does leave a little bit to be desired as far as the bezels are concerned, right? You've got a thicker bezel on the top and bottom. A little bit weird. I would like if they went with like a really thin bezel, equally thin all the way around, make it a little bit more sleek, like the Neo 2, right? What's with the D-pad here? Now, I'm trying to think. What? Okay, we're talking about like an Xbox. Oh, does Xbox have a D-pad like that? Let me see. My Xbox controller's on the floor. Yes, it's got the same D-pad as the Xbox controller, which no, it tends to roll a little bit too much. I don't like those D-pads that have one whole surface. I think it rolls around a little bit too much, so it can. Yeah, I'm not too keen on that. As for retro games and stuff, a lot of emulators and emulation games, you're going to be playing on this thing. Not my ideal D-pad, and if anything, I don't like the glossiness on it. As you know, the Microsoft one's very matte finished, so it's very good for grip. Glossy, ooh, that's going to look a little bit greasy over time, isn't it? Hopefully this is just a prototype. Hopefully the finished model looks nicer. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the D-pad. I wish he just went with a more traditional one. I don't think the buttons are clicky. I think they're going to use those little silicone things underneath. So, you know, we're not going to get a clicky experience as far as the buttons are concerned. The thumbsticks, love how they've got RGB. It's pretty cool. Looks like they've got RGB in the corners, or is that just reflective? I'm not sure. It's got a really distinct style, and I think if you look at other Asus products, like the Asus ROG gaming laptops, you know, they all have this design philosophy, this whole sharp edges, sharp corners, mean-looking design. I don't think that works too well in a handheld form factor. Let me know. Let me know. I could be wrong. You might disagree. Let me know in the comments if you're okay with the design. I think it works for their gaming laptops. You know, you can have sharp edges. People like sharp edges, you know, flat corners, whatnot on a laptop. But for a handheld, they've just went a little bit too aggressive with the design in my mind, in my opinion. That could change. That could completely change. But yes. Now let's take a look at the trailer for this thing again. All right, guys. Let's take a look at the trailer.
Here at ROG, we're always pushing the boundaries of gaming, constantly striving for better performance in smaller devices. From convertible laptops and tablets to controllers and even smart contact.
Let me pause. That's April Fool's. There's no smart contact lenses. But I will say this about Asus. They're one of my favorite brands when it comes to tech and gaming in particular. And that I really took notice of them when I bought the Asus ROG G14 gaming laptop. A 14-inch form factor, very much like a MacBook in terms of size and portability. Amazing battery life with a 2060 graphics card in it. It was absolutely an AMD Ryzen 4800 something. It had a pretty good AMD chip, Ryzen 9 or Ryzen 7 in it, and it was mind-blowing how powerful it was and how small a form factor. And I just love Asus's designs, and just I really trust them as a brand now. You cannot go wrong with Asus, okay?
Lenses.
And that's why I'm excited for their gaming handheld.
Nothing has ever stopped us from going further and harder. And now, we're combining all our know-how into one single device to wear the crown. Introducing ROG Ally.
Ka-ching.
ROG's first handheld console.
Right, that does look nice. So it looks like they are going to have a UI interface over Windows, which is good, right? So hopefully we'll not have to wait for the Windows game mode to come out. But this looks pretty clean. Like I said, the design more could be said about the design. I'm not too keen on this design philosophy on a handheld gaming PC. Although that could change. You know, I might end up loving it. Just first impressions, I wish they just went with something a little bit more ordinary. But maybe to stand out, maybe they need to do this.
This time, we're finally bringing true PC performance to your life on the go. The ROG Ally is a Windows gaming handheld that allows you to pick up and play all your game libraries wherever you are, whenever you want. To make it all possible, ROG and AMD work together to custom make the fastest AMD APU yet. Taking your AAA game out of your gaming room is no longer a fantasy, and thanks to the high-performance display, you can enjoy gorgeous and smooth full HD games
120 hertz. Oh yeah.
even under the sun or spotlight. The Ally is the achievement of
That D-pad though, dude.
intelligent cooling, featuring a
When I'm playing Mario, Mario Brothers, in Super Smash, I'm gonna hate that freaking D-pad.
fan design. It stays
Maybe. I've never played I've never played those sort of platformers with that kind of D-pad, but we'll see.
cool and silent in your hands and guarantees great performance with quiet operation. Get instant access to all your games and settings in Armory Crate. Set up different key mappings and add games from multiple platforms. Experience Ally's full potential.
This is something I completely disagree with, alright? Now, Asus has this proprietary external graphics unit, okay? It's basically a laptop without a keyboard and a monitor, right? And a trackpad. It's basically this little mini desktop PC with a mobile gaming laptop discrete graphics card in it, like a 4090, okay, in this little casing here. And they've got a proprietary connector that allows you to connect it up to the ROG Ally or some of their gaming laptops, right? And allow you to basically dock your either your laptop or the ROG Ally and have it be like a fully fledged gaming PC with a proper external graphics card and give you performance that you'd come to expect from an actual desktop gaming PC, right? So we're talking about 4K, 120 hertz, ultra settings. That's the sort of performance you're going to be looking at with this. But this isn't the only option. There's also external graphics amplifiers that use Thunderbolt 4 and Thunderbolt 3 and USB-C 4, which uses the Thunderbolt standard. So they've announced that the USB-C on this is not going to be USB-C 4. So that means you're not going to be able to buy a normal graphics card and a graphics amplifier and basically run your own graphics amplifier, you know, with your own graphics card and pay reasonable prices. They're going to be forcing you, if you want to expand this and use it like a desktop with an external graphics card, you're going to have to buy their external graphics amplifier. And I really hope they change that before release. I hope they slap a couple of USB-C 4s in this. And allow us the option to use our own graphics amplifier and use our own graphics card with that, because this thing that they're selling, this ROG XG Mobile GPU, is like $2,000, and you can only use it with Asus's products, which is just wrong, right? You know, yeah, it's more efficient. You're going to be getting more performance from it than you would through USB-C 4 and Thunderbolt, but it's going to be redundant. It's going to be old. You know, it's going to be useless at some point in time. Whereas if your own graphics amplifier, you could slap out the graphics card, sell it on eBay, upgrade whenever you want. With ROG's solution, you know, you're stuck with that $2,000 graphics card that's only going to depreciate in value over time. I wish, if they're going to include this, that's fine. But also include USB-C 4 and Thunderbolt as well, so we could use our own graphics amplifier. And I really hope they're listening. Linus Tech Tips pointed that out in his video, you know, the benefits of Thunderbolt 4 versus this. And he did also say that he wishes they included Thunderbolt as well with it, because it would just make life a little bit easier for those of us that don't want to spend $2,000 on our freaking proprietary external GPU, right? Anyways, let's get back to the video. I'm done rambling, sorry. This part from the Steam Deck commercial, the Steam Deck announcement video, they just like copied this, because the Steam Deck intro video or announcement video has that same sort of thing where people are like on roller coasters, swimming, and at the dentist and stuff with the Steam Deck in front of them. So I like this. Except this actually looks like they're doing the things. It looks like they're actually playing, because they're sort of, you can see the shadows and lighting change. That's funny. So be the first to know. Head over to Best Buy, put your email, and let them know you're interested in this thing. So there we go, guys. If you want more ROG Ally content, please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you get notified, because I'll be posting multiple videos per day. Come join us. I also stream all day from morning till evening. Come join us for that too. And if you want us to keep the live streams going, please consider dropping a tip. Streamlabs.com/Blaze2K, or becoming a member by clicking join, and helping support the channel and help me making content going forward. Anyways, I love the Steam Deck. It's my favorite handheld console ever, and this ROG Ally, it's going to have to be pretty damn good for this to get dethroned. But I'll always love the Steam Deck regardless. So there we go. If you want more Steam Deck content, handheld gaming content, all that good stuff, please subscribe, click the bell icon, and support by clicking join. And yeah, like I said before at the start of the video, go check out our list of favorite Amazon Steam Deck accessories. A lot of these will work for the Asus ROG Ally 2. I'll keep you informed of when the ROG Ally release date gets announced, so stay tuned to the channel, because I will be covering it a lot more going forward. Anyways, guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. I love you. I'm Blaze2K. Oh, pardon me, I've been drinking too much coffee today. May the force be with you. Take care. Bye.